What is up, awesome people? And welcome back to a very long-awaited Pokemon trading card game online card opening series episode. Alrighty, so I've recently been doing a lot of the physical card openings for this series, and I haven't really had much time to cover really the digital side of this. So I've been getting a lot of codes and all that from the physical openings. I've also had a few codes given to me from my suppliers as well, so I've got a bit of spare time on my hands, so I thought I may as well do some card openings. I've been pretty busy with work as well, and as I've mentioned in one of my previous card openings, I think it was one of the physical openings, maybe I mentioned it in my digital card openings, I am a huge fan of opening cards after a long, hard day's work. Oh my goodness, the past 2 days of work has been like insane. I mean, that's not even including last week's shift. It was, it's so insane. 1 day's off is like not enough, and not to mention that we do streams on the weekend as well, so I barely get any sleep, so I think I'm also nearly sleep deprived as well. So what better thing to do than opening cards? It's just not so stressful in the brain. Alright, so obviously a lot has changed on this client since I've last done an episode. We're up to the Furious Fist, so that's now eligible to be claimed for those who weren't aware. I did mention as well in my physical openings that there is also a iPad version. Unfortunately, the iPad version is only available for iPad 3, iPad mini, iPad Air, I think it is. For those who have like the older versions of the iPad or don't have a particular system in there or processor in their iPad, unfortunately it doesn't work. I unfortunately have an iPad 2, which is one of the earlier models that came out. I think it was one of the very first iPads that came out. Unfortunately, I cannot run the client on my iPad for that reason, so I would have loved to have done some mobile versions of this, but it's just impossible with my iPad. Unless I steal Ben's, it may not happen. Also, I am going about a different approach for recording these episodes. I'm using an entirely different program for this, so it may be a little bit different. I don't know until I figure out all the kinks and all that. It's just going to help reduce the amount of time I spend editing these episodes. Not really much goes into these episodes, so I don't really spend a lot of time editing them and rendering them and all that, so it's kind of just to cut down on that time so I can focus on more important episodes for my channel. Alright, so let's get on to redeeming some codes. This episode I'm just going to focus on a few codes that I got through the physical card opening. So for this one we got, I don't even know what that one is, we got a Delphox EX card, we got a Greninja EX card, Xerneas EX card, Yveltal EX card, Chespin EX card, and then we got a duplicate actually, I forgot about that. So let's do them through the QR reader because I can't be bothered typing them in, and plus we'd be here all day. So this one is the Xerneas card, so let's claim that now. We got Xerneas EX, so I think I have shown this one before, if not well, who knows. So it's an EX card, 170 health, it's got Breakthrough, 60 damage, and X-Blast, 140. Xerneas EX is an alright card, but compared to its counterpart, Yveltal, it isn't really that good. Plus, I don't see a lot of fairy decks, so I'm not too familiar with fairy decks at all, so I can't really judge all that much on it. Alright, so I can put that one away. I'm going to redeem that other Xerneas card now, so it saves me like redeeming and going, oh. Okay, so boom. Come on. QR loves me a lot. Okay, so Xerneas EX. I'm pretty sure it's the same card. Yes, it is. Alright, so just get rid of that one. Yveltal. We'll do the two Yveltal cards. So, right, so there's one. And 2. Right, QR is awesome when it decides to work. Alright, so redeem those ones. Now this is the OP EX card that most people run in their decks. The Yveltal EX card, mostly because of Evil Ball. People who've used Mewtwo EX in the past for 5th generation sets will be very familiar with how this card works. 20 more damage times the amount of energy cards attached to both Pokemon, so base 20 damage. It only requires 1 Dark Energy and 1 energy card of any type, and Y Cyclone, which I see very rarely used. Unless this card's about to go down, they can always preserve one energy card and move it to one of your bench Pokemon, so you can always move it to another Elemental EX that's sitting on your bench. Usually people carry about 3 of these in their decks, so that's probably a handy move, as I said, to just move one energy card before this Elemental goes down. Especially if you've got like a whole bunch of them sitting, a lot of energy cards sitting on this card, you can just preserve 1 or 2, move them to your bench to another Elemental EX, so give that one Evil Ball a boost as well. Actually, a lot of the cards that were available for the Elemental deck is actually now illegal because of the sets and all that. As I said, I think in one of my episodes, you can only use a particular range of sets before they become illegal. So I'm actually not too sure where they're up to now for all the illegal decks, but I know a lot of my decks are now illegal because of that. Anyways, we've got a new card. This is from the Crocodile EX collection, or the EX box. 180 health, second bite, which is base 40 damage, requires 1 dark energy and 2 energy cards of any type. And Megatongue Fang, it's got 130 damage, 2 dark and 2 energy cards of any type required. Discard a card from your hand. If you cannot discard a card, this attack does nothing. So that would have worked very well in the Elemental deck with a Dark Patch. I do have to clarify if that card is even legal now. I know for the deck I am using those cards and it does say it is illegal, so well, the whole deck itself is illegal in standard play, so I'm gonna have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it is illegal now. That would have worked really well. Then you discard a dark energy card, get it back with Dark Patch, put on a bench Pokemon, e.g. Elemental EX, and just go from there. Would have been really powerful. Hopefully I bring something back like Dark Patch. That was really good for dark decks. Alright, so I think we got the Kalos trio now, so I'm just going to redeem them. So we got that, and Delphox. Also, there is another set of tins coming out for Furious Fist. I think they're based on the Kanto starters, so you got Charizard, Blastoids, and Venusaur. They are actually coming for me, but I won't actually get them until November, so they'll be out pretty soon actually for Pokemon Online. Alright, so 170 health for Delphox EX. We've got Psybeam, which does 20 damage, requires 1 Fire Energy card, which is alright for an EX Pokemon. Flip a coin, and if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, which is alright, because if they hit themselves in confusion, which is flipping a tails, that's 30 damage to the Pokemon. And Wonder Flare, base 80 damage, requires 1 Fire Energy and 3 Energy cards of any type. Your opponent reveals his or her hand. This attack does 40 more damage for each energy card in your opponent's hand. So that's pretty good if they play a Silent card or a Professor's Letter card. You can deal 40 damage. Well, it'll be 180 plus if, not 180, 120 if they played a Silent card and didn't play an energy card from that lot. Like I said, 120 plus. Or if it's a Professor's Letter, I think that's going to be 80. That's more. Woo! That's a lot of damage for a Silent card. Well, my math is completely off today, but yeah, that would be doing 200 damage if they played a Silent card. Plus, damn, that's quite a good card if you can play that at the right moment. Alright, so next is Chestnut EX, 180 health. Pin Missile, base 40 damage, requires 1 Grass Energy and 2 energy cards of any type. Flip 4 coins, this attack does 40 damage times the number of heads, and Wild Tackle, 120 damage, requires 2 Grass Energy and 2 energy cards of any type. This Pokemon does 20 damage to itself. That's a stronger move if you take away the recall damage, but if you play that with the card from Flashfire, I am at a complete loss at the moment for what the card is, but you attach that to Chestnut and you negate the recall damage, which is really good. And last but not least, whoops, not that one. We want the last card. Alright, Greninja EX, 170 health. First move is Sharpshooting. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Select anywhere on the field. It can be active or bench. Of course, you don't apply weakness or resistance for bench Pokemon. Only requires 1 Water Energy card, which is alright for Sharpshooting any already damaged Pokemon, and especially basic Pokemon who have already taken damage. And Aqua Blast, 120 damage. Requires 2 Water Energy cards and 1 Energy card of any type. Discard 1 Water Energy card attached to this Pokemon. So honestly, I don't really like that last one. It does have a lot of power, but unless you got some way of getting Water Energy cards back, which there isn't a decent way of doing that at the moment outside energy retrieval and cards like that, At the moment, there's not really a suitable strategy you can use for that. Sharpshooting, honestly, there's better cards that do that better than sharpshooting as well. And that's all the cards that I need to redeem at this point in time, so I just need to remember how to work this. Alright, so I'm just gonna go filters, and most of those were promo cards actually. I did accidentally redeem one other promo card as well, so I'm a bit short there. But I think it was like a Pyro card from my Pyro box. If you're wondering why that never popped up, it's because I accidentally redeemed it. I'm like, oopsies. So there's the Pyro promo card. As I said in my physical opening for this, it's not as good as the Pyro from the Flashfire collection, since that cannot be damaged by basic cards, which redeems out a lot of the EX cards, which is making it why it's so good. This one isn't as good, but it can work in a more fire-orientated deck that revolves around Blacksmith and Fiery Torch, if you want to include that, which is what they mentioned in that Pyro box for a fire-making deck. That can work, but I honestly prefer using the other Pyro. And I think that came with like Fiery Torch and Blacksmith as well, but I am buggered if I actually know, because I never actually saw the cards, because I clicked OK and didn't even realise that was a promo card until I looked at the card. I'm like, oopsies. But yeah, that's actually it for this episode. I really just want to leave it there, but in the next episode I have a whole bunch to open. It's not funny, like this is just a preview. There's so many cards. I got so many Flashfire cards. I got more Furious Fist to come once I've opened up those. We even have Phantom Gate coming, I think next month or the month after. I think it's one of the two, but that's another expansion I need to do. So I really need to get my ass into gear and start opening some of these. I still have like a whole bunch of legendary treasures I need to open. I've been so slack. But anyways, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my previous card opening videos, or even my digital card openings, physical as well. And if you like what you see, make sure to stick around for future episodes. So, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!